when you're ready.
Amazing, thank you, Andy. Morning, Sue.
Morning, how are you?
Good, thank you. You've had a night for that big win to sink in. I mean, what does it feel like now you're doing a semi-final of a cup against Manchester United?
Well, it's obviously a really positive thing and a good moment for everyone connected to the club. My personal feeling is that I drew a line under it for now last night, and very much focused on getting ready for the game on Saturday. So yeah, it was obviously great last night, and we're so pleased to be through. But my focus and the team's focus is just on getting ready now for Premier League action.
Just one more on last night. I think there's a rule in the Carabao that you can get written consent from the host club for a loan player being Henderson's case at United. Do you think there's a chance they'll give you that?
Well, I'm not sure about that, but if there is, then obviously that it's something that we were looking to possibly of pursuing. But it's all just talk, I guess, at the moment. You know, we haven't had a chance to breathe really since the game, and we'll pick that up as and when.
I wonder if you were on the other side of that. If you're a manager with a lone player who's potentially going to play against you, would you allow them to play?
I've not really been in that situation, so I've not had to think about it, to be honest.
No worries. Looking at Leicester this weekend, team news, how's Willy Bolly and any other...
Yeah, well, obviously, you know, we've got an injury record that we're not particularly fond of at the moment, but and that may have been added to last night. We haven't assessed the players yet because they're in a little bit later, so there's no news of absolute guarantees of player availability from last night. So fingers crossed, excuse me, on a couple of things. And yeah, last thing we want is more numbers on that list that we already have. But as I always say, next man up and work with the players that are available, and great game to look forward to.
I know we've spoken a lot about the development of the squad and the team over the last few weeks. Since the last game against Leicester, obviously 4-0 at the King Power, where do you think the squad is since that game especially, and are you happy with the development since then?
Well, we have to have a mentality of always wanting to do more, always wanting to improve. I even said last night that obviously it was great to get through, but I was equally thinking about how we could have played much better than what we did, and we need to play much better than what we did. So I just think it's a constant cycle of assessing what we're doing, trying to improve. We've got a lot of work to do. I think there's no doubt that over the course of the season that we have taken some forward steps, but we're not in a place where we don't think that we can get better. We do. We've got a lot of improvement to make in so many aspects of our game, which is a bit more of a challenge at the moment because of the injuries, and obviously we're in the transfer window and all that sort of stuff. But we're really enjoying our work. We're enjoying taking it game by game and committing to a plan, sticking to a plan as well. And in the end, the proof will be in the pudding of where we end up at the end of the season. So I don't think this is the time to assess a situation and go, are we happy with everything? Because we're in the middle of a season and we've got a lot of games to play. And so we're on that cycle, as I said, of just sticking to the plan, reviewing games, preparing for the next one, and as that's going on, hopefully picking up enough points.
And then the last two games, maybe in the history of this fixture, 4-1 last in the Cup at the City Ground, 4-0 at the King Power to Leicester. I mean, what is it about this fixture that gives so many goals?
Well, maybe that's just a coincidence on the last two games, and there's a lot of differences between them two games, obviously, where we were last year and to this year. But and this again will be completely different, because there has been a bit of water gone under the bridge since that. That was obviously a poor night, terrible night, a few months ago, and I wouldn't say we'd be talking about it too much going into Saturday, because we're only talking about ourselves. And like I said before the Southampton game, it's we've just got to focus on how we play, how we sort of embrace challenges. Because that's the situation that we're in, we can't be thinking too much about others, and we don't. Obviously, you look at an opponent naturally and see what it takes to get the right plan to go and play well against them. But we're still in that mindset of, let's be looking at ourselves and making sure that we get our own bits right. And if we do that, we give ourselves a chance of, when it comes to games, sort of winning, and that's what we want to do.
And just last one from me. You mentioned the transfer window. Confident any incomings are close, or do you think things will happen?
I don't know if confidence is the right word. Hopeful. I think it's clear that we want and need to add players, and that thing in the back of my head is going now. Here we go, Nottingham Forest signing loads of players, but that's where we are at this current situation, and it's an easy thing for anybody to say now about how many players we signed in the summer. Signing again is two different times, and they shouldn't really be compared. We've got an injury list. We have had a time to get a little bit used to Premier League football, and you have to treat a transfer window for what it is, an opportunity to strengthen and improve your squad, and we'll be no different to anybody else.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Steve.
Thank you. Hi, Steve. The cup can be a distraction, but as you get closer to Wembley, obviously it becomes more of an incentive. It's an obvious question, but what can cup success do for the league season for Forest?
You're obviously not talking about Blackpool on the weekend. Well, I think last year, I just think what we've tried to do over the last 12 months or so, a bit longer than that now, is just try and build positivity around the club, and belief and just good feelings. And, I said last night that, our status, if you like, if that's the right word in English football history, has been built on some really successful times, obviously back in the day. And we represent that, obviously in hopefully in a modern way, and looking forward and trying to create new sort of memories. But a lot of the club's sort of success over the years has been about cups, so we should respect that, and we do. In a short-term way, I think that, like I said, we had some important cup ties here last year that just weren't great for getting through to the next round. Talking about the FA Cup games against what were Premier League. Obviously, we were a Championship team and they were Premier League at the time. But it wasn't just about getting through to the next round. It was just about the atmosphere in the stadium. It was about bringing everybody together. It was about young supporters having a real excitement of coming and watching their team. And I just think that just builds relationships in the club, and they feel part of something. And it's exactly the same for the players and myself and the staff as well. So a cup competition and a run in a competition can go a lot further than actually sort of just staying in the football cup for what it is and getting as far as you can. I think it can build a lot of other things outside of it, and I guess that's what we try to do, as much as obviously, like I said, staying in the tournament.
Just a word about Leicester. Highly experienced manager, a steady spell, injuries themselves. What are your observations about them?
Well, you're right. Got a lot of. I know we're local rivals now, but do have a lot of respect for Brendan and what he is as a guy and a manager, and the success that he's had. And you look at the recent Leicester games, and they created a lot of really good chances. So a very dangerous team. Have some really dangerous attacking players, and that we all know, and players that have done it sort of year in year out on the Premier League stage, and we have to be very wary of that. Technical team and play good football, but we've got to really think, like I said to earlier in the question, we've just got to really think about how we approach the game, how we play, what we do in the game to have a positive impact. And if we don't get that stuff right, then we won't be at our best. And we saw the second half of Chelsea, we saw the Southampton performance in different ways, even moments last night against Wolves, although there was some things that we need to look at and go, this is not what you do as well. So and I'm keen to speak to the players today about that. But yeah, it's as all these Premier League games are, it's going to be a tough game, and but it's a game that we will look forward to. We know Leicester have had a day's extra rest than us, but we won't let that bother us, and certainly won't make an excuse. we look forward to 3 o'clock and committing to what it takes to win.
Cheers. Cheers.
Morning, Steve. Sorry.
I looked at you and you spoke.
Just a few follow-ups from me. I know, of course, you said you drew a line under last night's result and performance, but just wanted to get your 12 or so hours on your final reflections on the game.
12, not much sleep, if I'm being honest. The laptop was on last night and watching games, but like what I said last night, what I said now, like just really good to get through, and you know, them things about 30 odd years of, you know, last time in a semi-final, and as I said about, you know, younger fans and well, not even that young, you know, supporters experiencing it for the first time. It's always important to me, things like that. So all them things are good. I want us to play better going forward, there's no doubt about that, and it's my job to look at the game analytically and step away from the context and the emotion of a game and look at it for what it was as a performance. And like I said, some good things in the game, but not enough, and we need to do better. And yeah, I'm just in that sort of cycle of putting one game to rest and getting ready for the next one. And I mean, it's a great week, you know, quarter-final under lights, then a local game, you know, Saturday 3 o'clock in the Premier League. So great week, great working week, and see how I didn't mention last Saturday then, part of the week, and then you know, making sure that we give everything we've got to try and get the best out of it, each game.
And then, of course, looking ahead to Leicester, I know you're not one for form in the slightest going into it, but with it being an East Midlands derby, does form completely go out the window? You know, it's just, you know, two teams going at it, you know, it's better on the day gets it.
Yeah, I think, it's certainly not, you know, it's no guarantees with, you know, so many times you can think that you go into a game and an opposition has this going for them or going against them, and you play the game and it's the complete opposite. And even for ourselves, there's been some games we've gone into and thinking, okay, maybe we're a bit under strength because of injuries, and actually we go and perform really well, and then you go into a game full of confidence thinking, yeah, this is going to work, and it doesn't. So but that's just the game of football, you know. There's always an opponent with a plan as well, and for sure Leicester will have one. So no, I think it's just like I said, just about thinking internally, you know, staying in our own sort of Nottingham Forest bubble, doing what we think is right to prepare for the game, and hopefully, you know, committing and really believing in the plan to go and win the game, and that's just where we're at, really.
I know you say you won't focus on it too much because reverse fixture was 4-0, and hindsight's a wonderful thing, but was that a bit of a turning point for this season for you and the club?
Well, I don't think anything's been turned round because of I know at this current moment you look at the league table and it looks better than what it was before the last league game, but it can change again quickly, better or worse, we know that. So no, nothing's been turned round. We are very much building, working every day to try and become who we want to be. Hopefully we get there quicker than not, and even when we feel like we are getting there, there'll be a next step. So it's, you know, that's just how we work, and so no, I don't really look at it like that. I always look forward, always look at what we want to do and how we can achieve things, and we're just thinking about, you know, the game of football against Leicester and how we can do our best to go and win it.
Just fine for me, like you said, a cup game under the lights last night, straight into an East Midlands derby this weekend, promises to be another cracking atmosphere.
Yeah, well, it will be for sure, you know, and I can't remember the last time we played on a Saturday. Well, it was probably Crystal Palace, was it? 3 o'clock, but at home. So it wasn't that many games ago. But we really like playing at the City Ground, of course, and I think supporters are coming to the stadium and really, you know, committing to making the atmosphere to what it is. And, you know, I'll only repeat probably every home game, we won't take it for granted. We're not entitled by it. We have got to do our bit on the pitch to match what the supporters are giving us. And like I said, that's where my focus is. A little bit because of last night's performance. I know the result was good and there were some good moments in the game, but I really want to make sure that the team is right at the level on the weekend, because we know if we do that, great atmosphere to play in and becomes difficult for the opponent. So let's work hard in trying to recreate that once again.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you. Steve, just a quick one. How important do you sense this game is to the supporters?
Well, yeah, it will be, won't it? Because it's a local game, and all of the normal sort of things you talk about around a local game will be apparent for it on Saturday, and we will be very mindful of that, and we want to represent that as best we can, stand up for it, and yeah, we'll be doing that. So, but I also say we've also got to think about what it takes to get success in the game, and that's what we're in control of. So our focus going into the game is using the local rivalry and the importance to the fans as motivation, but our real focus has got to be on what we're in control of, and that's sort of playing well. So whether it's an individual, a unit on the pitch, certain part of the plan, that's really where our focus needs to be, because if you focus on that, then you get what you want. If you don't and flip it around, then it can be counterproductive. So yeah, we need to really hone in now on the game plan and believing that we can carry it out well.
I know 5 minutes before kick-off is probably when you're most in the zone thinking about the game. It promises to probably be a real special moment just before kick-off. It'd be a really good Mulligan tie, and who knows what Fossa Garibaldi have got planned in the Trent and that sort of stuff. Can you ever give yourself the moment to take that in as well?
To be honest, it always is special before a game. You see last night and Chelsea. It's what we have in the moments leading to kick-off is a routine of a city coming together and a bit of belonging, and I think that's that moment where that when Mulligan tie comes on and that people actually stand together and go, yep, this is our club, this is who we are, and everyone's very proud at that moment. And then the game starts and everyone goes to work, both on and off the pitch, and we're lucky that we're part of a club that has that, because not everybody does, but we do. And yeah, so whether it's a local game against Leicester or any other game, it'll always be special to me, and I know it'll be special to everybody else as well. And hopefully after that, then we go and win the game. But no, that won't change regardless of the game.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks, what you do.
Steve, the FA were reviewing the brawl in the match last night. I was wondering if you had a chance yet to sort of assess what went on, why it was going on.
No, sorry, I haven't, to be honest, and I'm not sitting on the fence too much, but I just haven't. It's been a quick turnaround, 12 hours or something, or whatever was mentioned, and I've been more focused on the Leicester game. To be fair, everything was calm in the tunnel after, and I actually know some of the Wolves staff, and we spoke about the game and wherever. So so there was certainly nothing that went on after whatever went on the pitch. So yeah, I apologise maybe for not giving you something, but I don't want to say something because I'm not sure aware of what happened.
Sure. Can I just check on Jesse's sort of fitness? Still a couple of weeks away with his hamstring.
Yeah, no, yeah, and the lads who've been out injured are won't be available for the weekend.